Check one, two, three. Welcome to the podcast right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be talking about how anime is really picking up steam now. Now, why is this? Why is anime picking up steam? Anime is very is a genre that most of us who were growing up thought it was just regular cartoons. But anime is actually its own genre now, in a way that we know what it is, we know what it is about, a lot of exaggeration, a lot of detail in the art, and a lot of great stories written very well that most Hollywood movies cannot compete against. Uh, Live action movies. Uh, just saying. But anime is really picking up, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be in this time because and I know that anime is probably the top genre right now, as far as story is concerned. Now, I really enjoy watching anime because the art is great. We're living in a time where 3D is king, right? In a way. But, but when you look at 2D art, it is a missing art that most of us, want to try to get back. I would like for Walt Disney to go back to the 2D art style rather than, you know, riding the 3D wave because the time that I really saw the beginning of that was during the Toy Story era. When Toy Story was coming out, you know, um, that's when things started to shift at Disney. It wasn't the regular 2D, the amazing 2D art that we used to love and the stories. It just changed to this whole 3D thing and the weird type of art that Disney makes. So I don't appreciate that about Disney. But again, anime. I think Disney actually bought um, an anime company. Okay, it was incorrect. They did not buy an anime company, but they had a lot of acquisition and deals. But the one I was thinking about was Studio Ghibli, but that's just a partnership. That's not an acquisition. Um, so it is interesting to see that Disney is trying to get involved with that. And reading what I'm reading right now, there's one thing that was very interesting that I've read was that Disney's chief creative officer, Jared Bush, recently teased a return to 2D animation within Walt Disney Animation Studios. This revival is driven by narrative needs and nostalgia and not by acquiring external anime studios. So I think that that would be good on Walt Disney's part if they do go back to the 2D style of animation. Now, there are still some people who are around since the era of the 90s that could help with that. Um, I think they need to bring back that quality. Um, and, look for originality for sure in order for them to come back. But again, this isn't a Disney podcast, but, it's much more of anime. So, when the first anime that I've ever seen in my childhood was this anime called Aladdin. Now, this anime was probably released in the 80s, as far as I know, and I never seen anything like it. Um, I thought it was just a regular cartoon, but it was just one of those old school anime, and it was a very good movie, and it was on VHS at the time, and it was like on a mixtape, mixed VHS tape. So, you know, things like that I really cherish because not a lot of people, you know, have lived in that type of era of mixed VHS tapes. Um, but I thought that was awesome to watch that. So that was one of my first ones. Well, the one my first one that actually no, I have to go back. I think it was Thundercats. I think it was Thundercats. At least it's around that era because around that same time, yeah. So it was like Aladdin, Thundercats, and there was this anime that my sister really liked, and that was The Little Mermaid, Hans Christian Andersen. It was an anime as well. Um, it didn't have a favorable ending, but but it was still an anime. Um, but to be honest, in the early days of my life, when I was a little kid, I was always shunning, you know, the anime in a way, um, because the cartoons of the 90s were much Americanized, and I was so used to it. Like Darkwing Duck, I was used to X-Men, Spider-Man, um, and some of the earlier ones in the 80s too, G.I. Joe. So used to it that, anime wasn't something I really want to watch. I think it was just a lot of exaggeration. It was exaggerated to a point where I was just not interested in it. I think just bad comedic timing. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't something I was connecting with. But until there was one day where I don't know where I got this thought from. I was like, I want to watch some anime. I want to watch some anime. I think the one day, I think it was a family member, my niece, got me into it once again because she was like, "Have you seen Demon Slayer?" Right? So I was like, "No, I haven't seen it." And so when I watched Demon Slayer, I got hooked again back to anime. I say hooked again because of that connection with Thundercats and all that. But when she said that, that's when I was like, what have I been missing out on? What have I been missing out on? Because this is incredible. This is how stories should be told. Look at the animation. I'm just looking at the animation, and so the trend began to come back for me. Because well, actually, let me go back. DC DC Comics actually made some animated stuff, and in a way, that was anime. The way they were making it, like Green Lantern, Emerald Knights, those type. Batman, Gotham Knight, um, Wonder Woman, those type of, you know, to me, I would think that, I mean, it's in an anime style, I guess you would say, anime type of style. Um, but still, going to back to Dragon Demon Slayer, that was incredible. Just watching it, I was like, then what else have I been missing out on? So there was good and plenty I was missing out on. And the one anime that really got my attention, now some of you are going to know when I say this, Hunter x Hunter. At first, when I watched the first episode of Hunter x Hunter, I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure about this. But I kept watching it, and boy, it got from good to great. You know what I mean? It got from good to great because Hunter x Hunter was written in a way that made it very interesting. And, I hated that they had cut it off. I'm talking about the 2014 version. I think it was the 2014 version of Hunter x Hunter. Still good. And then I realized, watch this, I realized that Hunter x Hunter was done earlier than that, which was like, I don't know when it first came out, was 98 or 99. And I didn't know this because of the American type of cartoons that had kind of, just overshadowed it. And so I wasn't that deep into anime. And Hunter x Hunter 1999, I guess, or 98, was really great too. The episodes that I've watched thus far, really great. And I didn't know that this existed. I didn't know Hunter x Hunter existed, guys. That's, that's wild to me. Very wild because Hunter x Hunter to this day is my favorite anime for right now. I know some of you are like, there's some others. Yeah, but I haven't gotten to them yet. But I know so far, after the ones I've seen so far, now right now, currently, I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist. No spoilers, please. But compared to Hunter x Hunter, I could put Full Metal Alchemist in my top 10 for right now. I'll tell you that much. Okay? In my top 10. But other than Hunter x Hunter, I have not seen one that tops Hunter x Hunter yet. Um, I did watch. Now, a lot of people were talking about this anime called Attack on Titan. I've seen a few episodes, probably to like episode 4. I got to get back to it in order for me to put it on the list of top 10 or even a top 5, or even a top 3 in order, I got to watch all of it so I can tell you, what, if it's really great or not. But thus far, the best anime I've watched is Hunter x Hunter. Still incredible. Still incredible anime. Very interesting anime. There might be some anime suggestions that you might have. Leave those in the comments so I'll be able to watch them. Now, I'm currently watching a few anime right now. So I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist. There's another one on the list, The Deadly Sins. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm watching that one. It's alright. Um, Ultramarine Magmail. That's another one I'm watching. But so far, y'all know, Hunter x Hunter is in my top. I'll even say top 3 right now. Alright, so anime. It's fantastic. Actually, I know I've listed some anime that I have watched early on. There was one anime that I really didn't know it was anime at the time, but it's I could put that in my top three, probably my top three for right now. One anime that I've seen that gets my top three is Little Nemo. Little Nemo. Okay, that's in my three. Top three for right now. So I got two of them for now: Hunter x Hunter and Little Nemo. All right. Um, like I said, it's a tough thing for me to try to decide um, the best anime. My top three. To get to the top three, you really gotta be a good. It's gotta really be good. For me. Um, but yeah, man. Even I like Thundercats. That's in my top 10. Okay, that's in my top 10. It's got to be on that list too. Thundercats is on there. But mm, it's tough, very tough. But the list is destined to change, guys. This isn't permanent. It isn't permanent. The list can change. So my top three, well, it's hard for me to even say it, but my top three could change at any time. But I doubt it because Hunter x Hunter isn't coming off the list. It isn't. It's tough, to get it off the list. Um, my goodness, man. There are some other things I want to talk about here about relating to anime, sports. I did not know that sports anime could be so entertaining. I didn't know, man. Like, who would come up with the great details within a sports anime? I think many people need to take a look. It's not just like sports per se. When you watch a sports anime, it takes you into a different type of world. Like I was watching, I think it was High Impact, a golf anime. And it's not just about golf. It's not just about that. There was another one that I really liked. Karuko's Basketball is really good. The one that got me into sports anime, and I'm gonna have to get back on it, is an anime called Blue Lock. Blue Lock. Soccer. It's about soccer. That one is cool too, guys. If you haven't watched a sports anime, I suggest that you do. Watch something that you um, are interested in relating to sports. Try that first. Then try something that you don't normally watch within sports and see what I'm talking about. It's incredible. They show you how, different. They show you their writing skills. You know, the creators of anime, sports anime, shows you their writing skills. And it's incredible. So those are the reasons why I like anime. Anime has basically good writing, good animation, and what else are you looking for, right? If you don't like the way live action is going in America, if you don't like the movies in America, I suggest you go to Japan. Not literally, but watch the movies, watch the TV series of anime, and you'll see that these guys have what you're looking for. So I'm done, guys, for today, or this moment. This podcast was great. I plan on doing more, hopefully. I hope to do more. God, please let me do more. And hopefully they'll get better and better. May God continue to bless all of you, and may heaven smile upon you. And don't forget to comment below the anime that you would recommend me to watch. And let's see if it makes it in my top 5. Let's see if it makes it in my top 10. Let's see if it makes it in my top 3. Alright? Thank y'all very much.